show. Nate Wangler alongside the latest addition in the carousel of color commentators that have made their way out of this broadcast this year. We got Noah Drury, Max Sheeran, Super Smash Bros. Commentator, transitioning from esports into traditional commentary. We also got Jackson Hayden, my typical number 2, and now we got Ella Hathaway. No relation to Anne Hathaway, as far as I know.
No,
no,
none,
okay.
Unfortunately.
Don't have that star power to your name.
Nope.
Inter Ebner gets Cornerstone into double digits, 11-6, up by 5 here with 4:25 to go in the first quarter. But a busy day here at Cornerstone today. It was the alumni game earlier before this one, an annual tradition. All the old players, a lot of old faces in the building, a little scrimmage before this one started here today. We'll go through some of those names, and obviously a blast from the past. Banks from NBA range off the front of the rim. Jaylee Long will grab it, and Cornerstone will run in transition, trying to add some padding to this lead. Banstra, ooh, backdoor find. Olivia Kubik finishes it off. 13-6 on a great cut by Kubik. Stimick dancing in the corner, looking for a lane, has it jarred free by Goodwin. The Golden Eagles flying into the front court, and Kubik is fouled. Olivia Scott rotating over, sends Kubik down to the hardwood, and 2 free throws coming up. Chance to make it 9 at the stripe here for Olivia Kubik. A 9-point lead, that is, with 3:41 to go in the first. But an annual tradition for CU, having a lot of their old faces come here and play. Madison Folks, player that graduated last year, was back in the building. It was good to see her again. Obviously, her family was one of the more supportive ones of our broadcast when she was here. But a lot of great memories of her playing on this team. Kennedy Helderup, who was another big name in terms of turning this program around during the early Jess Yonkers years. One of her bigger recruiting wins. India Grissom is fouled here by Laura Inter-Ebner. Dearborn will inbound it with 20 seconds to shoot here on the shot clock. But it's always nice to get those old faces back in the building, and we always talk about culture and how it's a constant conversation for Jess Yonkers. And one way of telling where the culture is when you have old players that are willing to come back and support and participate in things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Dearborn trying to slice that lead down a little bit. Only 6 points. Banks, an extra step. Hands the ball right back here to CU. Nearly takes out Goodwin on the pass back out of frustration, and Goodwin will inbound it. Here with 3:19 to go in the first. It's also nice, as you and I were talking about, to just stay active and come back and play with your friends. I feel like that's the biggest part of that experience is your teammates. Not necessarily the wins or losses. Goodwin straight away shifts it to Olivia Kubik, who flings it with the finger roll and finds the bottom. Timeout here for Dearborn, down by 11 with 3:01 to go until the end of the first. Good news for them. Marissa Thomas is back up on her feet and moving around, so we'll see if she comes back into this game at some point. Cornerstone up by 11 with 3:01 to go in the first, though, here on the CU Sports Network. Dearborn will get the first possession here, and they'll look to add the first points here in the second half of our doubleheader action here today. Nate Wangler, Ella Hathaway on the broadcast for you. Helwa spinning his way down low, fades and fills it. Gets the first 2 points of the game. Cornerstone will look to respond as Wolcott gets into the front court here for Luke Rowlandson. His dad, Lee Rowlandson, in attendance here today, an Ohio family through and through, so he made sure to wear his Buckeyes jacket just to get into me a little bit. Rowlandson fades, a midi that rolls in. Ties the game up at 2 with 19:21 to go. Of course, taking on Michigan-Dearborn here today. Kind of have those road Michigan unis. They got the blues with the white trim, or rather the yellow trim, the maize trim, if you will. Baseline jumper off the mark. Joshua Warren as it's ripped down by Toby Wolcock into the front court. Little hesitation, scoops one, and scores it. 4-2. He puts Cornerstone out in front. Dearborn will look to tie it up yet again here. Finding his way baseline, Miller cycles it out for a 3. Left side, that's off the mark. That time by Brewer. Wilcock into the front court, flings it off to Joldersma, who finds Stewart on a drive, who fills it. Right in the paint. Stewart evens it up, or rather makes it 6-2 in favor of Cornerstone, and what a season it's been for him so far. The best of his college career, and I know we've talked about that a lot. Deep three, Helwa sprays it home. 6-5, good response for Dearborn, lead down to 1, but he's been doing a little bit of everything for CU this year. Here is Blake Stewart, cycles it to Rollinson, who knifes it to Toby Wilcock and gives it right back to him. Rollinson considers a three, but they work it into the corner for Stewart, who will try another mid-ranger, and he finds the bottom. 8-5, the tally. Joshua Warren had 34 points against Lourdes, looking to replicate that and get his first of the day here. Instead, it's taken away by Stewart. They find Rollinson in a layup. As easy as it gets for the kid out of the Buckeye State. 10-5, 5-point lead for CU. Here's Warren again. Trying to cut down on that 5-point deficit. Miller, a scoop and score. Scoops it up past Rollinson, who inbounds it to Wilcock with about 3 minutes gone in this first half. Wilcock finds an open Rollinson, decides to pull it down and gives it off to Joldersma. Inside of 20 seconds to shoot. Luke flips it to the other side for Mason Brooks. Backs his way inside and scorches it. Joshua Warren. That lead back to 5 here for Cornerstone. A handoff to a cutting Miller, who looks back in the middle for one Zachary Cody. Trez troubles with Joldersma, so they work it back to Warren at the three-point line, who tries to carry it himself but can't quite get there. Just 13 seconds to shoot. Helwa cycles it inside. Warren again, and this time, or rather Zachary Cody, converts on the hook shot. Most efficient shot in basketball if you can do it the right way. Wilcock, a hesitation up top. Looks for Joldersma as they try to stretch that lead back to 5. Hand off to Wilcock, cutting through the lane. Looks left side, finds it open. Rollinson, who pumps. He can't find his way into the bucket. Just 10 to shoot. Stewart nearly has it jarred free. Instead, back to Rollinson and a heave that he connects on. First three of the game for one Luke Rollinson. 15-9, Helwa. Dearborn has been good with their responses in search of another quick response here as they try to loft it inside. Mason Brooks jars it free, and now Rollinson off to Wilcock in a finger roll. That's nothing but net. 17-9, nightmares of turnovers for this Michigan-Dearborn team. That's just how it's been this year. They've been turning the ball over in bunches, had 22 of them against Lourdes their last time out. Rollinson stands up tall against Miller and comes up with the block as he flings it to Mason Brooks, who goes up strong and finishes for 2 in transition. Dominic Polachicchio, not even 5 minutes in, has seen enough. 19-9. Cornerstone quickly out in front by 10 here on the CU Sports Network.